Let's talk about something that most people avoid, even though it affects millions after the age of 60. And no, it's not a normal part of aging. At least not one we have to accept without a fight. It's something that steals away confidence quietly. That makes you check where the nearest restroom is every time you leave the house. And that sometimes makes you feel ashamed for something entirely out of your control. I'm talking about incontinence. Yes, leaking, dribbling, rushing, urgency. It's not glamorous, but it's real. And if you've been there, I want you to hear this from me right now. You are not broken. You are not alone. And you absolutely can do something about it. My name is Dr. Thomas Whitaker. I'm a retired physician, and I spent over 4 decades specializing in geriatric medicine, helping men and women live healthier, freer, more confident lives well into their 70s, 80s, even 90s. And one of the most personal, sensitive, and often ignored topics I ever encountered was this: bladder control. You see, incontinence doesn't care how proud you are or how careful you've been. It shows up quietly after childbirth, after prostate surgery, after menopause, or simply because our pelvic muscles, just like our eyesight or our knees, don't quite work like they used to. But here's the good news. Incontinence is not the end of independence. And today, we're going to talk about what you can do at home. Yes, from the comfort of your living room or bedroom to take back control of your body. Because aging doesn't mean giving up. Aging means learning how to care for ourselves a little more wisely. So, grab a warm cup of tea, and let's get into this together. In this video, you'll learn what exactly causes incontinence after 60, why it's different for men and women. Simple, natural, daily habits that make a real difference, and the inspiring story of one couple who turned their lives around without medication or surgery. But first, let me make one thing very clear. You deserve to talk about this without shame. You deserve to feel dignified, clean, confident, and free. And you deserve clear, simple answers that actually help, not scare you. So let's begin. Incontinence isn't a disease. It's a symptom. A message from your body saying, hey, something here needs attention. It can be caused by weak pelvic floor muscles, overactive bladder signals, prostate issues, or nerve damage from diabetes or strokes. Even medications or simple dehydration can make things worse. In women, it often shows up after menopause or childbirth. In men, it's sometimes related to prostate surgery or age-related weakening of the bladder. But regardless of the cause, the impact is the same. You worry. You plan every outing around a bathroom. You stop going for walks. You feel less like yourself. And this slow shrinking of your world is what we want to stop. Because when you stop moving, laughing, enjoying life, that's when aging becomes suffering. But we're not going to let that happen. Not if we can help it. Let's start with this simple truth. Aging is not the end. It's a new chapter 1 that asks us to care for ourselves with more patience, more love, and a little bit more cleverness. Incontinence may feel like a loss of control. But in reality, it can become a wake-up call. A reminder. If you neglect your body, it will neglect you. But if you care for it, gently and consistently, it will surprise you. So today, let me walk you through 5 natural, at-home methods that have helped my patients regain confidence, dignity, and yes, even bladder control. Point 1. Pelvic floor exercises. Yes, they work. You might have heard of Kegel exercises. But if you've never tried them, or gave up because they seemed silly, please hear me out. Your pelvic floor is like a hammock of muscles that supports your bladder, rectum, and for women, the uterus. As we age, that hammock starts to sag. It's not your fault. It's gravity, time, and sometimes childbirth or surgery. But here's the magic. You can strengthen it just like you strengthen your legs or arms. Start by squeezing the muscles you'd use to stop urination midstream. Hold for 3 seconds. Relax. Do it 10 times. Try this 3 times a day. And no, you don't need a gym. You can do this while brushing your teeth, watching TV, or even waiting at a red light. It's invisible, it's free. And it works if you stick to it. Point 2. Watch what you drink, not just how much now. This one surprises many of my patients. Cutting back on fluids too much actually makes incontinence worse. Why? Because concentrated urine irritates the bladder, causing urgency. Instead, aim for regular hydration, mostly water. But cut back on bladder irritants like caffeine. Yes, coffee lovers. Moderation is key. Alcohol, carbonated drinks, artificial sweeteners. Switch your evening wine for warm herbal tea like chamomile or peppermint. You'll sleep better and your bladder will thank you. 3. Train your bladder like you train a pet. Sounds odd, right? But your bladder can actually learn. If you're running to the toilet every 30 minutes, you're teaching your bladder that urgency always wins. Try bladder training instead. Start by delaying urination by 5 minutes. Gradually stretch it to 10. Then 15. Your goal? A 2 to 3 hour gap between visits. It's a process, but I've seen patients go from 10 trips a day down to 5 or less. Just like a puppy, your bladder needs boundaries and a little patience. 4. Support your body. Literally, sometimes your body needs a little help. Absorbent pads have come a long way. No longer bulky, no longer embarrassing. There are even discreet underwear designed for both men and women that feel just like regular fabric. And don't forget about mobility tools. A raised toilet seat, bedside commode, or even just nightlights in the hallway can prevent the dreaded midnight rush. These aren't signs of weakness. They're tools of wisdom. 5. Try gentle herbal helpers. Some natural remedies show promise, especially when combined with other lifestyle changes. Pumpkin seed extract may improve bladder function and reduce urgency. Corn silk tea, traditionally used for bladder irritation. Magnesium-rich foods, like leafy greens, bananas, and brown rice, help relax the bladder. Of course, always talk to your doctor before starting any supplement. But remember, nature is not your enemy, it's your ally. Asterisk. Let me tell you about Ruth and James. Married 42 years. In their mid-70s, they used to go on daily walks together every morning. That was their sacred ritual. Then James started needing the bathroom more and more often. Sometimes he didn't make it. At first it was just a small leak. Then full accidents. He stopped walking. He stayed home. He started refusing visits from the grandkids. But Ruth, bless her heart, didn't let shame win. She watched videos. She read books. She even started doing kegels with him, right there on the couch. They swapped coffee for herbal tea. She helped him track his bathroom visits. She bought him the good, breathable incontinence underwear, not the scratchy kind. 6 months later, James walks again. Not every day, not always far, but with his wife beside him and his pride in his pocket, not on the floor. Incontinence didn't steal his dignity, because Ruth and James took it back, and you can too. So now, you've heard the science, you've heard the solutions, you've even heard the story of Ruth and James, and maybe, just maybe, something inside you is stirring. A quiet voice saying, I want that kind of freedom too. Let me tell you something as a doctor, and as a man who's seen thousands of lives changed. Incontinence does not define you. It doesn't take away your worth, your dignity, or your right to enjoy your life. What takes those things away is silence. Shame. And giving up before you've even tried. But if you've made it this far into the video, then you haven't given up. You're here. You're listening. You're already fighting back. So here's my invitation to you. Start today. Not with something huge. But maybe with your first kegel exercise. Or by swapping your second cup of coffee for herbal tea. Or by telling someone, maybe your partner, or your daughter, or your doctor, I want to do something about this. Because you are not alone, and you are not the only one who has been afraid to talk about it. Promise you, once you break the silence, you break the power that fear has over you. And suddenly, you'll find your world getting a little bigger again. You'll say yes to walks, you'll say yes to dinner plans. You'll say yes to laughing hard without worry. And most of all, you'll say yes to life. Because you still have so much life left to live. You are still whole. You are still worthy of comfort, confidence, and joy. And no matter your age, you are never too old to make a change that matters. Incontinence might be part of your story, but it is not the end of your story. So let's keep writing, one day, one step, one laugh at a time. If anything in this video felt familiar, if you saw yourself in Ruth, or James, or that quiet moment by the window, please leave a comment below. You can just say, I'm ready to take back control. Or, this is me. I'm not ashamed anymore. Because when we share our voices, we create a community, and no one heals alone.